at this time, we need to be in solidarity and praying for families and our communities around this state, and particularly in Charleston.
The FBI and local authorities are investigating and analyzing a racist website with a 2,444-word manifesto that appears to belong to the Charleston church shooter Dylan Storm Roof. In that manifesto, he writes, "I was not raised in a racist home or environment. The event that truly awakened me was the Trayvon Martin case. I was unable to understand what the big deal was. It was obvious that Zimmerman was in the right, but more importantly, this prompted me to type in the words black on white crime into Google, and I have never been the same since that day. The first website I came to was the Council of Conservative Citizens. There were pages upon pages of these brutal black on white murders. I was in disbelief. At this moment, I realized that something was very wrong. How could the news be blowing up the Trayvon Martin case while hundreds of these blacks on white murders got ignored? I have no choice. I am not in the position to alone go into the ghetto and fight. I chose Charleston because it is most historic city in my state, and at one time had the highest ratio of blacks to whites in the country. We have no skinheads, no real KKK, no one doing anything but talking on the internet. Well, someone has to have the bravery to take it to the real world, and I guess that has to be me." The website of the Council of Conservative Citizens, the group that Dylan Roof mentioned in his manifesto as having changed his life, carries this statement today. "We utterly condemn Roof's despicable killings, but they do not detract in the slightest from the legitimacy of some of the positions he has expressed." We're joined now by Richard Cohen, the president of the Southern Poverty Law Center. Richard, you write today about how this kind of venom is spread both on the internet and worldwide. Was it at all surprising to you to read that chronology in that manifesto about this is how his views and, as he puts it, his life were changed by coming upon that website?
Not at all. It's classic white supremacist dogma. You know, the website talks about, white genocide. The shooter's a young man, unable to form normal relationships. He looks for answers for outside of himself for his failures. The Council of Conservative Citizens website tells him it's not his fault. It's the fault of black people. It's the fault of others. He buys it hook, line, and sinker. Today, Lawrence, we actually found another a part of his digital trail where he was posting at another website and engaging in conversations with white racists. And, this is how it goes so often with people like this. One thing I could add, if it'd be okay, about the Council of Conservative Citizens, it's a deeply racist organization. They've described black people as a retrograde species of being. Yet at the same time, Republican politicians in the 90s and up until about 2005 routinely showed up at their fundraisers, routinely showed up at their rallies, and really today, the webmaster of the Council of Conservative Citizens, up until recently, was a member of the Republican executive committee of his county in South Carolina. So, I mean, it's an organization with deep racism, yet with a foothold in mainstream politics.
And Gene Robinson, long list of contributions to politicians, all Republican politicians, from Earl Holt, who's the president of the Council of Conservative Citizens. His favorite, Ted Cruz, $8,500 donated to Ted Cruz. Scott Walker, $3,500. Republican Governor Greg Abbott of Texas, $3,000. Representative Steve King of Iowa, $2,500. Rand Paul, $1,750. Former Senator Rick Santorum, $1,500, and so it goes. Many of them have announced today that they are either returning the money or better, I think, a choice. Ted Cruz has announced that he's donating that $8,500 to the Charleston Church Fund.
Yeah, that's a better response, I think, to what a day that began as oops. You look at the list of donors. Obviously, on the one hand, it's true you don't control everybody who gives. You don't necessarily know everybody who gives. However, it is also true that the Republican Party has pursued what was dubbed in 1968 the Southern Strategy. Since then, which was to essentially survive and thrive by capturing the lion's share of votes in the South, by appealing to and providing a haven for those who feel white victimization and white grievance in the face of demographic change, in the face of desegregation, in the face of the first black president, whatever, and and with a nod and a wink almost, because at this point, because it's not that that anybody has to, we wouldn't agree with that, we wouldn't, openly appeal for those votes, yet we would provide a home for them, a political home for people who believe that, and that's the sort of tacit understanding.
And Richard Cohen, they're saying today that actually the only thing they disagree with is going into a black church and gunning everyone down. Everything else in the manifesto is okay with them.
Yeah, I mean, they are unrepentant racists. And it's really quite incredible. Gene mentioned the Southern Strategy. One of the leading players in that was, of course, the South Carolinian Lee Atwater. And so, this thing has a long tradition, unfortunately, in South Carolina, in the Deep South. And, we see the danger, in the Charleston shooters' actions of that kind of rhetoric.
And Mark Thompson, the manifesto is filled with the classic stuff that these kinds of people have been saying for years. Don't like Jews, Hispanics are in here, everybody you can think of who isn't white and, as they put it, European.
That rhetoric is far too commonplace. Even if the violence that he perpetrated isn't, that rhetoric is very common. And shameless plug, people who want to hear that rhetoric just need to tune into my show every night. I hear that all the time. Conservatives call my show every night. Richard, they call me every night, and they say these things, especially during the Trayvon Martin case. Everything he said verbatim, and I accuse them all of being scripted. There's some place, maybe it's the council and other places, the Council of Conservative Citizens, but there's some place that scripts it because all of the language, all the rhetoric is verbatim. Why are you upset about Trayvon Martin when it's blacks murdering whites, or black on black crime and personal responsibility? I mean, all that stuff comes up, and that's just further example of racism.
Janae, there's a passage in here, and I actually don't think enough attention has been paid to this document, which is why I've been reading it, but there's a passage in here about intermarriage where he says, a horse and a donkey can breed and make a mule, but they are still two completely different animals. Just because we can breed with the other races doesn't make us the same. There's more and more and more of this. And as I read this today, the more normal he sounded, by which I mean the more normal he sounded in that location in 1960. This was not outrageous, unacceptable thinking in 1960 in his community.
No, it's amazing. We are right now going back to the Supreme Court. We're awaiting a marriage equality decision, but it was only 48 years ago in Loving versus Virginia that it took the Supreme Court to say that interracial marriage was in fact permissible, that there was no stain on the nation by permitting it, and to allow couples to freely love one another and recognize the humanity in everyone. And the fact that we're still fighting these same battles today, and that some want to hold on to that old racist dogma, shouldn't entirely surprise us. We see this sort of rhetoric in so many spaces. We see it in irresponsible media. We see it in classrooms and other areas where we're fomenting the myth of minority rise of power, when if we really looked at the statistics of mass incarceration, of the wealth disparity in this country, of housing segregation, we would know that quite the opposite is the case, that Dylann Roof had no fear of losing his privilege. In fact, he owned more of it than he cared to recognize.
All right, we're going to have to take another break here. Richard Cohen, thank you very much for joining us for this segment. Thank you.